Welcome to this video. Today, you are not just going to hear a book summary. You are going to begin a transformation, a deep one. Because this is more than a list of tips. This is about unlocking the most powerful skill in the world, the ability to talk to anyone. But before we begin, let's ask something important. Have you ever walked into a room and felt invisible? Have you wanted to say something, but your lips froze? Have you ever wished you could be the kind of person who enters a room and instantly connects, attracts, and makes others feel drawn to you? Most people are afraid of talking, not because they can't speak, but because they're afraid of being judged, rejected, ignored. That fear silently kills dreams. It stops promotions. It keeps friendships shallow. It prevents love from ever beginning. And that's where this book enters. All successful people, I mean the truly successful ones, have one thing in common. They read. Warren Buffett reads, Elon Musk reads, Oprah Winfrey reads, Barack Obama reads. Because books do something that schools, jobs, and even money can't do. Books rewire your brain. They upgrade your mind. And this book, How to Talk to Anyone by Leil Lowndes, is not just a guide to conversation. It's a system to transform your presence, your confidence, your influence, and your connection with people. It doesn't matter if you're shy, introverted, socially awkward, or unsure how to talk. These tricks are based on psychological science and real-world experience. And in this video, I've selected the best, most powerful ones that can truly change your life, starting today. Because if you master just a few of these communication techniques, you'll become unforgettable in the eyes of others. You'll speak with natural confidence, even in difficult situations. You'll win interviews, ace presentations, connect with strangers, and even make people fall in love with your presence. And even better, as you listen to this video, you'll also be practicing and improving your English listening skills. That's right. I've made this video easy to understand for English beginners. You'll hear every sentence clearly, every explanation slowly, and every trick with simple, powerful examples. So by the end of this video, you'll not only become better at talking to people, you'll become better at talking in English too. This is a double transformation, and you don't want to miss a second of it. Trick 1. The flooding smile. Let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone who smiled at you so suddenly, so quickly, so mechanically, that it felt fake? Now compare that to someone who looks at you, really looks, and slowly lets a smile grow across their face as if just seeing you made them happy. That second smile? That's what Leil Lowndes calls the flooding smile. And it's one of the most powerful tools in human connection. What is it? When you meet someone, don't smile instantly. Look at them first. Pause. Make eye contact, then let a smile slowly, warmly appear, like sunshine rising. It makes the other person feel welcomed, important, noticed, safe. Why does it work? Because a slow smile activates trust. It feels real. It feels earned. It tells the other person, I'm happy to see you. Not just because I should, but because I genuinely feel something good when I see you. Example. Imagine you're walking into a job interview. The hiring manager sees 10 people every hour. Everyone walks in with a nervous smile and stiff handshake. But you pause, make eye contact, then offer a slow, calm, warm smile. That moment makes you stand out. You're not trying too hard. You look confident, calm, and in control. Trick 2. Sticky eyes. When you talk to someone, most people look away every few seconds. But not the masters of connection. They use what's called sticky eyes. What is it? When you're listening to someone talk, keep your gaze on their eyes a little longer than normal. Don't stare aggressively. Just hold it gently, confidently, and curiously. It feels like you're truly interested, like the world has stopped and only their words matter. Why does it work? Because most people feel ignored in daily life. When someone gives them focused eye contact, it makes them feel seen, respected, heard, and important. Example: at a party, everyone is talking fast. Eyes are jumping. Distractions are everywhere. But you're listening to someone with sticky eyes. They feel connected to you like no one else. They'll walk away and think, that person was amazing, even if you barely said anything. Trick 3. The big baby pivot. This one is unique and powerful. Have you ever noticed how babies light up when you give them your full attention? Leil Lowndes says, when someone approaches you to talk, turn your entire body, not just your head, to face them. Like how a baby reacts to its favorite person walking into the room. What is it? When someone comes near, you pivot your whole body toward them. Shoulders, feet, head. It sends the message, you're important. I'm fully present for you. Why does it work? Because most people multitask when others speak to them. They stay half-turned, distracted, uncommitted. But when you pivot like a baby seeing its parent, the other person feels valued and appreciated instantly. Example: at the office, someone approaches you. You're writing an email. Most people keep typing and half look. But you stop, turn, smile. Boom, you've built trust. Trick 4. Limit the fidget. Your body speaks before your mouth opens. And nervous habits, tapping your fingers, shifting your legs, playing with your hair, destroy your presence. This tip is about learning the art of stillness. What is it? When you enter a room, stand tall. Keep your hands relaxed. Don't fidget. Don't wiggle. Don't sway. Just be calm, controlled, grounded. Why does it work? Stillness equals confidence. When someone is totally still, others think, this person is powerful. They're not trying to prove anything. They own the space. Example: during a presentation, you're standing in front of 10 people. You don't pace nervously. You don't adjust your collar every 2 seconds. You just breathe. Pause. Speak calmly. And suddenly, you become the person others trust, respect, and admire. Trick 5. Echo. Their emotion, not just their words. When most people talk to someone, they listen to the words, and they reply with logic. But if you want to make someone feel emotionally connected, you must go deeper. You must learn to echo their emotion, not just their words. What does that mean? When someone says, "I've been working so hard lately, I feel exhausted," a normal reply might be, "Yeah, I've been busy too." That response is logical, but it completely misses the emotional connection. A master communicator would say, "Wow, sounds like you've really been pushing yourself. That must be draining. Are you okay?" Can you feel the difference? The second reply mirrors how the person feels, not just what they said. It tells them, "You're not alone. I hear you. I feel you." And in that moment, you become safe, trusted, and emotionally powerful in their eyes. Why does it work? Because every person is walking through life with a storm inside them. When you show them that you see the storm, you're not just another person. You become someone who gets it. People don't remember facts. They remember how you made them feel. Let's say your friend just got rejected for a job. They tell you. They didn't even call me back. A robotic reply would be, that sucks. But a powerful communicator pauses and says, that must feel so discouraging, especially when you gave it everything. I'm really sorry. That hurts. That one sentence can heal more than an hour of talking. Because you didn't just respond, you connected. Trick 6. Use their name early. And use it. Right? A person's name is the sweetest sound they can hear. But very few people use this power the right way. This trick is about remembering and using names with purpose and respect, not carelessly. Why is it important? Because the moment you say someone's name, especially early in a conversation, they feel seen. They feel recognized as an individual, not just another person in the crowd. It shows. You're listening. You care. You made an effort. But here's the deeper truth most people don't realize. It's not just about saying someone's name. It's how you say it, the tone, the pause, the intention. Say it slowly, warmly, with attention. Let the name sit in the air like a gift. Imagine, you meet someone named Julia at a networking event. A basic greeting would be, nice to meet you. But a powerful communicator says, Julia, it's really great to meet you. And later in the conversation, I agree with you, Julia. That's a really thoughtful point. Now Julia doesn't feel like a stranger anymore. She feels recognized, respected, and remembered. This small trick can open doors. It turns casual moments into meaningful impressions. And impressions build relationships, jobs, love, and loyalty. Trick 7. The power pause before you speak. In communication, most people rush. They want to reply fast, fill silence, jump in. But the masters of influence do something completely different. They pause before they speak. What is it? It's a moment of silence, a second or two, before responding. You let your words come with intention, calm, and wait. That pause makes you look calm, confident, intelligent, emotionally in control. Why does it work? Because silence builds tension, the good kind. When you pause before speaking, people lean in. They wait for your words. And when you finally speak, those words land with more impact. The pause also gives you space to think, breathe, choose the right response. Avoid saying something impulsive. You're asked a hard question in a meeting. Instead of stammering or saying, I think, maybe, you pause. You hold eye contact. You breathe. Then you say, that's a great question. Let me think out loud for a second. Everyone in the room suddenly sees you not as anxious, but as composed, mature, and persuasive. In that moment, your presence rises. Trick 8. Steer the conversation with open-ended questions. Small talk is boring because it dies quickly. How are you? Fine. Cool. Silence. If you want to be someone people love talking to, learn to ask open-ended questions. Questions that don't end with yes or no, but instead open a door into someone's thoughts and feelings. What are they? Instead of, did you enjoy the movie? Ask, what did you think of that last scene? It really made me pause. Instead of, was your day good? Ask, what was the most interesting part of your day? Open-ended questions. Give people freedom to express. Show that you're truly curious. Lead to deeper, more human conversations. Why does it work? Because everyone wants to be heard. They want to share. But they need a signal that it's safe to go deeper. Your question is that signal. At lunch, you're sitting with someone new. You don't ask, do you like working here? You say, what made you decide to join this company? Now you've opened a door into their story. And suddenly they're smiling, telling you about their journey and feeling more connected to you. That's how real connections begin. Trick 9. Mirror their energy, but lead with your calm. Here's something powerful. People feel safest with those who feel like them, but also calm them down. This trick is about mirroring a person's energy just enough to build connection, but still leading them with your calm, steady presence. What does that mean? If someone is very excited, you don't want to be cold. You match their energy. A little smile, some enthusiasm. But you also don't want to be chaotic. You stay calm, grounded. It's like you're saying, I see you, I'm with you, but I'm also your anchor. Why does it work? Because people are often emotionally unbalanced. When you match their vibe, they feel you understand them. And when you stay calm, they start to feel safer with you. You become a mix of familiarity, you match me. Stability, you ground me. That's extremely rare. And people are drawn to it like gravity. Imagine, you meet someone who's nervous before a presentation. They're talking fast. You smile warmly, nod. Say, I totally get that feeling. But you speak slowly, calmly, smoothly. In that moment, they mirror your calm and start to breathe easier. You didn't just talk to them. You influenced their state. And they'll never forget that. Trick 10. The power of the undivided gaze. Have you ever talked to someone and felt like they were half listening? Their eyes kept shifting. They nodded, but it felt empty. That's because they were physically present, but mentally somewhere else. This trick is about giving someone something that almost no one gives anymore. Your undivided gaze. What is it? When you talk to someone, give them full eye contact without looking at your phone, the door, the window, or your own hands. Let your eyes say, you're the most important person here right now. Not just for a second, but through the conversation. Why is it powerful? Because attention is love. Attention is respect. And in a world where everyone is glued to screens, your presence becomes a gift. People are starving to be heard. When you give them your full focus, you become unforgettable. Let's say your friend is telling you about a problem. And as they speak, your eyes don't wander. They stay gently locked on them. Not intense, not creepy, just steady. Software listening. You nod slowly. Maybe tilt your head slightly. Your body is still. No phone, no watch checking, no distractions. In that moment, even if you don't say much, the other person feels something rare. Wow, they actually care. That emotional safety builds trust, love, and loyalty. And all of it began with something simple. Your eyes. Trick 11. Speak to their future, not their present. Most people talk to others as they are right now. Shy, confused, weak, awkward. But great communicators talk to people as they can become. They speak to their potential. They speak to their future self. And that makes people rise. It makes them grow. Because someone finally sees in them what they didn't see in themselves. What does it mean? When you're talking to someone who's struggling, don't only sympathize. Uplift them. Say things like, you don't even realize how capable you are. I can already see you leading people. You've got something in you, don't doubt that. This doesn't mean giving fake compliments. It means finding the strength hiding inside them and speaking directly to it. Why does it work? Because the human heart is a mirror. When someone sees greatness in us, we start to see it too. your words can become someone's turning point, their inner revolution. Let's say your younger cousin wants to start a business but feels insecure. Everyone else says, "You should wait, it's risky, maybe later." But you say, "You're smarter than you think. I've seen how focused you get when you want something. If anyone can pull it off, it's you." That moment becomes fuel. They walk away not just feeling better, but believing more. You didn't just talk. You planted power in them. Trick 12. Use the soul compliment, not surface praise. Anyone can say, "Nice shirt." "You're pretty." "Good job." That's surface praise. It feels shallow, forgettable. But what if you said something that touched their identity? Something that went deeper? That's the soul compliment. A kind of praise that reflects who they are, not just what they wear or do. What is it? A soul compliment is when you notice something deep and personal, their values, their energy, their kindness, their strength, and reflect it back. Say things like, "I admire how calm you stay even when things go wrong." That's rare. You have a way of making people feel safe once they talk to you. That kind of compliment doesn't fade. It stays with them. It becomes part of their self-worth. Why does it work? Because people aren't starving for attention. They're starving to be understood. Soul compliments make people feel seen in their truth. And very few people ever experience that. When you speak to the soul, the heart opens. That's where real connection begins. Let's say someone helps you during a tough moment. Instead of saying, "Thanks for helping," you look them in the eye and say, "Not many people would have done what you did." You stayed calm, kind, and focused. That shows what kind of person you really are. They might not even reply. They'll just look at you, moved, because in that moment, you spoke to the best part of them. Trick 13. Let silence speak when words can't. Here's something nobody teaches. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing. In a world full of noise, silence is rare and deeply powerful. When someone is emotional or going through pain, the worst thing you can do is throw words at them. What they really need is your presence, your stillness, your energy. What is it? It's learning to recognize moments when silence says more than advice ever could. It's sitting beside someone who's crying and just placing a hand on their shoulder. It's pausing after someone shares something deep, letting the silence honor their vulnerability. It's not rushing to fix. It's allowing a space for feelings to breathe. Why does it work? Because people don't always want answers. Sometimes they just want to not be alone in what they feel. Your silence, warm, present, non-judging, becomes a safe space. It becomes love, without words. Your friend just lost someone they loved. They're sitting there, broken. You could say, "They're in a better place. Time heals." But what if you sat beside them, gently held their hand, and said nothing? That moment becomes sacred. They feel you. And in that silence, they find peace. That's communication. Without noise, without effort, just truth. Trick 14. Own the space when you enter a room. Most people shrink themselves when they walk into a room. They walk fast, head down, unsure. But people who have mastered social presence do something very different. They own the space, not arrogantly, not loudly, but with quiet, grounded, steady energy. What does that mean? When you enter a room, walk a little slower, stand taller, look around gently, breathe deeply. Carry yourself like you belong. No fidgeting, no rushing to the corner. Just calm, intentional, powerful. Why does it work? Because your body speaks before your mouth does. People decide in seconds if they feel drawn to you or not, based purely on how you enter the space. When you take your time, when your posture is relaxed, your eyes calm, people feel that person is confident. That person matters. And here's the twist. Even if you don't feel confident, this trick can make you become confident. Because your mind listens to your body. If your body says, "I'm powerful," your brain starts to believe it. Example, you walk into a classroom, a meeting, or a wedding hall. Everyone turns slightly to see who came in. You don't look down. You walk slow. You breathe. You smile lightly, and you don't rush to hide. You take your seat with grace. Calm. You've said nothing, but you've made a statement. I don't need to prove anything. I am enough. That energy is magnetic. That's how people become memorable. Trick 15. Assume they already like you. Here's a trick that can change your entire energy in any social interaction, even before you say a single word. It's simple, but psychologically powerful. Walk into every conversation assuming the other person already likes you. Why is this so important? Because most people enter social situations with fear. Their mind starts creating negative stories. They might judge me. What if they don't like me? What if I sound stupid? That fear leaks into your body language. Your smile becomes forced, your voice becomes shaky, and your confidence disappears. But when you assume the opposite, that the person already likes you, respects you, and wants to talk to you, your body changes. You walk slower. You smile more genuinely. You make eye contact. You relax. And here's the magic. People mirror your energy. If you come in looking scared or unsure, they treat you cautiously. But if you come in looking like someone worth knowing, they believe it. What does it look like? Imagine you're walking into a room where people are chatting. Instead of thinking, I hope they like me, you think, they already like me. I'm just here to enjoy the connection. Now your body language shows confidence, not arrogance, but calm presence. Your smile is relaxed. Your voice is steady. You become someone people want to talk to, because confidence is magnetic. Example, you walk into a cafe to meet someone new, maybe a friend of a friend. You don't know them, you're nervous, but instead of letting fear take over, you walk in with this silent mindset. They're already happy to see me. I'm just here to enjoy. You greet them with a slow, calm smile. Your eyes are warm, your shoulders relaxed. You say, "Hey, it's really nice to finally meet you." That small difference, your inner assumption, changes everything. The other person feels that you're not desperate for approval. You're not afraid. You're just present. And presence is rare. Presence is powerful. This one mental trick, assuming they already like you, will slowly destroy your social anxiety. Because it teaches your mind to stop focusing on fear and start focusing on connection. That's how powerful people think. They don't walk in needing to be accepted. They walk in already feeling accepted. And that's why they usually are. Trick 16. The secret of the triple nod. This trick is so subtle, so quiet, but it has the power to make people open up to you like never before. It's called the triple nod technique. What is it? When someone is talking to you, especially when they're sharing a story, a feeling, or something important, You slowly nod your head 3 times as they're finishing their sentence. Not quickly, not aggressively, just slowly, gently, like you're silently saying, "Yes, I'm here. Keep going. I'm with you." Why is this powerful? Because it encourages the speaker to go deeper. It creates a soft emotional signal that says, "I'm not just listening. I want to hear more." And people almost always do open up more, because your body is inviting them. This trick works especially well in emotional conversations. When building trust, when someone is unsure if they should continue, it tells their subconscious, "You are safe here. You're being heard." Example: imagine a colleague at work is sharing how stressed they've been lately. They say, "I've just been trying to meet deadlines, but everything feels overwhelming." Most people either reply quickly or awkwardly nod once and look away. But you look at them softly. As they finish their sentence, you give 3 gentle nods, evenly spaced. You keep eye contact. You say nothing. They pause for a moment, and then they continue. "And honestly, I haven't been sleeping much. I'm starting to feel burnt out." You've just built emotional trust, not through words, but through presence. That's what makes this technique so rare and so unforgettable. Trick 17. Find the Me Too moments. This is one of the most powerful ways to build instant connection with another human being. The moment you find something in common. We all want to feel that we're not alone in our experiences. And when someone shares something about themselves, their dreams, struggles, hobbies, beliefs, and you can genuinely say, "Me too," that moment becomes magic. It creates a small emotional bridge that says, "We're similar. We understand each other." Why is this powerful? Because people don't just connect through facts. They connect through shared emotions and experiences. When someone hears "me too," it breaks the wall of you and me and becomes us. Even small connections, like favorite food, place, music, or past pain, can create deep emotional resonance. But here's the key. It must be authentic. Don't fake agreement. Don't force it. Wait for the real overlap. And when you find it, say it with warmth and honesty. Example: you're at a gathering and someone says, "I've always dreamed of visiting Iceland. The silence, the nature. It feels like a different world." You could say, "That's cool." Or you could smile, lean in slightly, and say, "Me too. I've always wanted to see the northern lights. Something about it just feels magical." Now you're not two strangers. You're two dreamers sharing a vision. In that moment, the connection deepens. They feel heard. You feel understood. That's what real communication is about. Trick 18. Master the pause and reflect. Response. Most people reply to conversations like a tennis match. Quick, automatic, reactive. But if you want to create depth in your conversations, learn to do something rare. Pause, reflect, then respond. This means when someone shares something important, you don't just jump in. You take a breath, you absorb their words, and then you respond from a place of careful thought. Why is this so powerful? Because it shows you're not replying from habit. You're replying from presence. You're not just listening, you're processing. This makes your words more meaningful, more powerful, and the other person feels respected. It slows down the conversation in a beautiful way, turning a fast exchange into a real, thoughtful connection. Example: your friend says, "I think I want to quit my job. I just don't feel alive anymore." Instead of quickly replying, "You should do it," You pause. You look at them. You breathe. Then you softly say, "That's a really big thing to feel. What's been making you feel that way?" Now you've opened the space for them to reflect, go deeper, and trust you more. Your silence became support. Your words became a mirror. And in that moment, you weren't just talking. You were connecting with their soul. Trick 19. Use magic words that warm people. Instantly, certain words have the power to soften defenses, open hearts, and create warmth instantly. These are not fancy words. They're simple, but they hold emotional power when used with care. Some examples. "I hear you." "That makes sense." "Take your time." "I appreciate you." "You don't have to explain. I understand." "That must have been hard." "Thank you for trusting me with that." Why are these words powerful? Because they create emotional safety. They show compassion, patience, and presence, qualities that people don't experience often. And when you say these words genuinely, you immediately become someone they feel close to. You become the person who doesn't judge, doesn't rush, doesn't interrupt. The person who listens, understands, and holds space. Example. A colleague makes a mistake and nervously explains themselves. Instead of reacting coldly or correcting them harshly, you pause and say, "Hey, it's okay, I hear you. That must have been stressful. Let's figure it out together." Their body relaxes. Their voice softens. Because your words gave them something powerful. Emotional peace. These simple phrases, when used at the right moment, build bonds deeper than hours of surface talk. Trick 20. Let them finish without interrupting, even if you already know what they're going to say. In today's fast world, everyone's in a hurry, even in conversations. Most people interrupt without realizing it. They finish other people's sentences. They jump in with solutions before the speaker even finishes expressing the problem. And this small habit, this constant need to respond quickly, makes the other person feel like they're not being heard. Their thoughts aren't important. The conversation is about you, not them. But there is incredible power in simply letting someone finish their thought, without interrupting, rushing, or correcting. Why is this so important? Because when someone is allowed to speak, really speak, without fear of being cut off, something magical happens. They begin to relax. They begin to trust you. They begin to open up in ways they never do with others. That's when real connection happens. Why do people interrupt? It usually comes from one of three places. 1. Excitement. You're eager to share your point. 2. Impatience. You think you already know what they're going to say. 3. Insecurity. You want to sound smart or helpful, but when you hold back, when you stay calm and present and just let them finish, you're showing something rare and powerful. Respect, patience, emotional maturity. Example. Let's say a friend is telling you about a fight they had with their partner. They start explaining. "We were sitting at dinner and I just said that I didn't feel." And most people would jump in. "You didn't feel heard, right?" "Yeah, that happens to me too." But not you. You stay quiet. You nod. You let them finish every word. They say, "That I didn't feel seen lately. Like I've been doing so much, but it's never enough." Now you're hearing something deeper than what you assumed. Because you gave space. You gave silence. You gave the gift of presence. This one habit can repair relationships, save marriages, deepen friendships, and build trust faster than any trick. Trick 21. Make people feel like they matter. Even in small interactions, most people go through their day feeling invisible. They serve your coffee, they deliver your food, they clean your office, and they barely get a nod, a thank you, or a smile. But the best communicators, the ones who make the world better, are the ones who give people something priceless. The feeling that they matter. It takes only seconds, but it stays with people for hours, even days. What does it look like? It's eye contact with the cashier. It's a warm smile at the security guard. It's saying, "I appreciate you," to the person who helps you. It's noticing someone's effort when no one else does. These are small gestures with big impact. Because when you treat everyday people with genuine kindness, you're not just being polite. You're telling the world, "I see you, you matter, you're not invisible to me." Why is this powerful? Because most people only turn on their charm when they want something. In meetings, interviews, or networking events. But the real character of a person is shown by how they treat those who have nothing to give them in return. When you practice this daily, something inside you changes too. You feel more grateful, more humble, more alive, more human. Example, you're in a rush, picking up your lunch. The person at the counter looks tired. Most customers just pay and walk away. But you pause. You look them in the eye. You smile and say, "Hey, I hope your day gets easier. Thanks for being here." That's it. But you just became the best part of their day. Not because you solved a problem, but because you saw them. And this habit, done daily, makes you someone people remember, even after years. Trick 22. Use gentle touch. When it's safe and appropriate, human beings are wired for touch. It's one of the earliest forms of communication we ever experienced. A gentle hand on the shoulder, a light touch on the arm, a warm handshake. All of these carry emotional weight words alone cannot deliver, but only when it's used with care, respect, and full awareness. Why is it so powerful? Because appropriate, respectful touch builds trust, reduces anxiety, increases connection, says, "I'm here," without saying a word. But here's the key. You must read the situation carefully. This technique is never to be forced or misused. It only works when the emotional space is safe and mutual. What does it look like? A friend is crying. You lightly place a hand on their back. A colleague finishes a difficult presentation. You gently pat their shoulder. A family member is sharing something vulnerable. You hold their hand for a moment. In those moments, words would feel small. But touch, used with tenderness, becomes the language of the heart. Example, you're sitting beside your younger sibling after a bad day. They're not saying much. Their eyes are wet. You don't start lecturing or over-explaining. You just sit beside them and softly place your hand over theirs. No words. And in that stillness, they begin to breathe easier. Because your presence is now felt, not just heard. This is human connection at its most beautiful. Trick 23. Repeat their last few words. To show you're truly listening. Here's a technique that sounds simple, but creates profound emotional results. When someone finishes saying something important or emotional, repeat their last few words softly. Not like a robot, but like a mirror of understanding. It tells them, "I heard you. I'm with you. Keep going." Why is this powerful? Because it shows deep listening. It encourages them to keep talking. And it builds a sense of emotional rhythm. a silent agreement between two people that says, "We are in this moment together." It's especially powerful when someone is opening up, uncertain, or processing something emotional. Example, your friend says, "I just feel like I'm failing lately. Nothing I do feels good enough." You gently pause, look at them, and say softly, "Nothing you do feels good enough." You're not questioning, you're not judging, you're reflecting, and that echo allows them to go deeper. "Yeah, like I work so hard and still feel empty." Now the real conversation begins, because you made them feel safe enough to keep digging. This technique is used by therapists, leaders, and world-class listeners, because it opens doors inside people that are usually locked. Trick 24. Be authentically vulnerable. Let them see you too. Many people think that great communicators are always polished, confident, and emotionally perfect. But the truth is, the most powerful communicators are the ones who are brave enough to be real. They're not afraid to say, "I don't know. I'm still working on that. That hurt me more than I admitted. I've made that mistake too." This is not weakness. This is strength. Because it takes real courage to say, "Me too, I've been through that. I still struggle sometimes." When you show your own scars, you give others permission to stop hiding theirs. Why is this powerful? Because people don't connect with your perfection. They connect with your truth. The moment you stop performing and start being honest, you build a bond that no amount of charm can create. Example, someone says, "I feel like I'm failing as a parent." You could try to cheer them up or offer advice. Or you could take a deep breath and say, "I felt that too. There were nights I cried alone, thinking I wasn't enough." That moment becomes sacred, because it's not about solutions. It's about being human together. And that's what real communication is. Trick 25. Make people feel like they're the only one in the room. This is a rare skill, and once you learn it, it changes everything. When you talk to someone, make them feel like they're the only person in the world at that moment. No distractions, no split attention, no half-hearted presence. Why is this so powerful? Because in today's noisy, fast-moving world, people rarely feel fully seen. Even in conversations, they can sense when you're mentally somewhere else. But when you lock into someone with soft eye contact, genuine curiosity, and stillness, it tells them, "You matter more than anything else right now." That kind of presence leaves an impression that lasts a lifetime. How does it look? You're at a busy event, music, chatter, people all around. Someone begins to talk to you. Instead of looking over their shoulder, glancing at your phone, or rushing the reply, you turn your body slightly toward them. You tilt your head slightly. You smile softly. You listen without needing to speak. You nod at the right moments. You pause before replying. And in that moment, they forget about everything else. Because your presence is that rare, that powerful, that comforting. Example, let's say someone is sharing a childhood memory. They begin, "When I was 10, I used to sneak out of the house just to sit near the lake." You don't interrupt. You don't ask why yet. You just listen, with interest, with stillness, and suddenly they're sharing more. "I think it was the only time I felt truly calm." Now you're no longer just a person in their day. You've become a safe space, and safe spaces are unforgettable. Now you know the truth. Talking to people is not just about saying words. It's about creating connection, trust, and emotion. one moment at a time. These 25 life-changing communication tricks are not just tools. They are doors. Doors that can open opportunities, build friendships, heal relationships, and transform your confidence forever. If you felt shy before, now you know how to speak. If you felt invisible before, now you know how to be remembered. If you felt afraid before, now you know how to make others feel safe. And in return, feel powerful yourself. People don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. So from today, make a promise to yourself. Every time you speak, you will speak with purpose, with warmth, with heart, and with honesty. Because your words have power. Use them to lift. Use them to build. Use them to make the world a little softer, a little stronger, a little more human. And remember this: you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be real. If this video helped you, if it made you feel something, if you're ready to become the most confident and powerful version of yourself, then please subscribe to this channel. Because here, we don't just talk about success. We teach it, we live it, and we grow together. I'm proud of you. Now go and talk to the world like you were born for it.